Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today we're going to be doing a Game Week 10 team selection video. This is a video I have been rather looking forward to say the least, kind of displaying the new rank and setting some new targets and kind of going over how I'm thinking I'm going to approach future game weeks. There's a lot to talk about for me in particular, but yeah, hopefully this video is going to help you out with your own teams as well. If it does help you out, of course, please do leave a like, please do subscribe as well. I know about half of you watching this video, guys, are not subscribed, so if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, because we are aiming to get 100,000 subscribers within the next month or two, and I can only do that with your help, so do get subscribed. But before we go any further, just a quick word from our sponsor today, and our sponsor is, of course, OneFootball, the great mobile app/website for all things football. Whether you want to check up some scores, when you want to check up the lineups for different teams, whether you want to look at some stats, whether you just want to see what's going on in the games around the globe. You know, you can't watch every single game, so it's nice to have that app on your phone in particular. Very handy, just check on your phone to see what's going on around the globe, all kind of scores, international games, European games, whatever, it's all there. And then of course you've got kind of transfer gossip and news on that app as well, so it's all in one place, completely free, link in the description, go check it out. So this is the moment I was waiting for, really. I've been waiting to show you this all week. Oh my word, you are not reading this wrong. I know you probably think you might be reading this wrong, but no. 115 points plus the minus the minus 4, I suppose. An old rank of 1,705, you might remember from last week. But this week, because of that enormous Game Week 9 score, we are up to a worldwide rank of 398th. Oh my word. Incredible. Honestly, I can barely believe it myself. This is by far, you know, the highest rank I have ever had. This is really seriously good. I don't know what I'm doing this season, but I'm clearly doing something right. I'm clearly, you know, I think I have very much improved my game this year of kind of how I'm playing FPL, but I have to admit, you know, a lot of luck has come into it as well. You can't get this high in the FPL tables without a little bit of luck on your side as well, so I'm not going to deny that. Don't worry about it, guys. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Really, really happy with where we're at. I mean, I couldn't be happier. I kind of aimed this week, I hope to get within the top 1,000 players this week. That was the goal, but we've done far more than that. We are up into the top 400 players now. It really is incredible, and yeah, I've got to now, I guess the next target is, can we go into the top 100 players? So yeah, really good performance from my players. You know, Trent is really nice to have, again, with that clean sheet and the assist. Reece James, I knew he was going to be good for this week. I really had a really good feeling about Reece James this week, and it paid off. Livramento, I decided to start ahead of Armstrong because I thought, you know, the comments made by Hassan Hootel in the week, kind of thought Armstrong, I don't think he's actually going to start this week, so let's give Livramento a go. 9 points. Captain Salah, really, well, captain obvious in a way, 48 points. Lovely jubbly. Havertz didn't pay off as a transfer, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Foden, 18-pointer, absolutely incredible. He played really well, and Boomer didn't really pay off. Kane didn't pay off really. So actually, to be fair, the two transfers I made, and I did take a -4 to bring in Havertz and Harry Kane, actually didn't really pay off, which was, I guess, a little bit disappointing. But how can you be disappointed when with a score like this? And of course, Antonio got his first goal in a few weeks as well. So all in all, really happy. We're going to push on to try and get into the top 100 players in the world. It's just insane to be saying that right now, out of 8 million players. To get into the top 100, I think we can do it. It's only, I think if we do things right, we can do that within 1 or 2 weeks. I really do believe that, because a lot of other people kind of around my rank have used bench boosts, triple captains, free hits and stuff like that to get to the place they are. So I think they might actually begin to dip a little bit as I kind of naturally catch up on their points. So yeah, I'm really happy with my team, but we can always improve things. So let's see how we're going to line up for Game Week 10. Right, so we've got one free transfer. We've got 0.4 million in the bank. Let's line up for Game Week 10. So let's start off and go with Aaron Ramsdale. I kind of had the temptation to play Foster this week, but I don't really think so. I think we're just going to stick with Ramsdale. He has clearly been a very, very good goalkeeper for Arsenal, and what's really missing is that clean sheet to go along with all of these saves that he's making, because, you know, as soon as he gets, you know, a clean sheet to go along with all of these saves he's making, we're on for some bonus points as well, and actually on for a pretty good goalkeeper score. It is around the corner. We are going to have to be patient with this. In general, goalkeepers is a kind of position you should be patient with, really. Leicester typically are a team that does quite well against Arsenal, but I don't know. I feel like Arsenal are in some good form at the moment. Leicester perhaps not in the best form that they've ever been in, in recent years. So in a way, I do think Arsenal could actually grab a result here. Whether we get a clean sheet or not is a very much a different question, but let's see. I mean, if I can get another 3-pointer with a couple of save points, it's not really the end of the world, is it really, guys? You can only expect so much from a goalkeeper. You can't really expect your goalkeeper to be carrying your team. Sometimes it happens, but yeah, you can't expect it to happen, can you? And so we're going on to the defence. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, a player I'm really glad I have. I can see a lot of people trying to find a way to get Trent back into their team. Guys, you don't ever drop him. This is kind of the issue. When you take Trent out of your team, it's so hard to get him back in because of his very awkward price being so much more expensive than the other defenders. But I really do think he's well worth his money. And this game against Brighton actually showing a little bit of a dip in form, conceding a couple of goals, not just in the league last week against Manchester City, but also in the midweek Carabao Cup games as well. So I don't know. Brighton have never been a particularly amazing attacking outlet. So that kind of leads towards Trent perhaps being able to get a clean sheet. I would hope for a clean sheet in this game, but you never know. Maybe some attacking returns as well. We know how advanced Trent plays. We know how creative he is. We know he's on those set pieces as well. So really, really nice stuff. We've got Cancelo here, Crystal Palace at home. Very nice game for Man City indeed. I did kind of half worry about last game week against Brighton. I didn't know how if Manchester City would be able to dominate them really. It was really going to be a case of whether they scored the first goal or not, or scored an early goal. It was quite unfortunate as well that they did concede a goal. I didn't think Man City would concede against Brighton last week, but they did. This week against Crystal Palace at home, again, I do expect a clean sheet. Knowing how good Man City's defence are, I do expect a clean sheet from them. And of course, with Cancelo, how advanced he plays, we do expect some attacking returns as well. He played 45 minutes midweek. He didn't play in the first half of the game. He played the second half of the game. So I do think Cancelo is good to start. I think it's going to be Walker and Cancelo on the left. That's how I believe that Man City are going to set up for this game against Crystal Palace. So I am pretty confident of him starting. So all good in the hood. We've got James next. Now, obviously, very good last week, but I am having some reservations about whether I went for the right Chelsea defender here. I really can. I'm trying to think, have I done the right thing here? And the answer is probably no. I haven't gone for the right Chelsea defender here. I've got this one wrong. I know we've got some points last week. We got a really nice 13-point haul last week, but it doesn't change the fact that I do think I've gone for the wrong Chelsea defender here. Now, we did see that in the midweek Carabao Cup game that Chelsea played, Reece James played the whole game. Now, he played the whole game at centre-back, which I don't know, it's a less physically demanding position, I suppose. So I don't know if that's going to mean that James is actually going to be, fit and healthy and ready to go for the weekend's game against Newcastle at right wing-back. I'm not 100% sure, and I think it is going to depend on the availability of Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta obviously had a shoulder injury, which ruled him out of the midweek cup game. However, we're not sure 100% yet whether he's going to be available for the weekend's game. And I do get the kind of impression that there's a very good chance, and I'm not saying it's 100% chance, I'd probably say it's a 50-50 chance. If Azpilicueta is available for the Newcastle game, then I think that gives basically halves James's chance of starting. I really think there is a really good chance that James won't start that game at the weekend, which will be really, really disappointing. I really do want to have that Chelsea defender available for this Newcastle game, for this Burnley game. So I don't know. What I'm basically doing is waiting for the Azpilicueta news tomorrow from the Thomas Tuchel press conference, and we're going to decide from there, I think, whether James is actually worth keeping or not, and maybe moving him on. But we'll move on. We'll come back to this one, guys. We'll come back to this one. We've got Tino Livramento, a player that I'm kind of just wanted to play every week. It's not just clean sheets anymore, it's attacking returns as well. Sometimes he just plays so advanced. I don't know if he is a super creative attacking player or not. Sometimes you see sparks of that in him, sometimes you don't. But we've got a really nice fixture against Watford. Watford have been one of the worst defences, particularly in recent weeks. They've been a really, really poor defence. So we do expect Southampton to go there and score. Whether or not they concede goals or not, I don't know. We don't fully trust the Southampton defence. But in these slightly easier fixtures, you would say, okay, in these easier fixtures, perhaps at least Southampton have a chance of keeping a clean sheet, and you're never guaranteed a clean sheet in football. It is one of the most random things that, often is one of the most random things in FPL. You just randomly lose a clean sheet. So, I think it's very, very possible. I think attacking returns are very, very possible. He's been playing so well. I don't really see how I drop him when he's playing this well. So he's going to be starting for my team this week as well. So let's move on into midfield. We've got Salah, the GOAT. I think that's fair to say. Salah, the GOAT right now. Brighton at home. I do think this is a slightly tricky game, but as I say, Brighton kind of showing some fragilities in the last couple of their games in all competitions. Salah is in the form of his life. Oh my word, he is playing so well. No, he's probably number one in world football right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree, right? So there's no way he's going anywhere. There's no way any of you guys should be without Salah. He is at 69% ownership right now. That is the highest an FPL asset has ever been owned. Never have we seen a player owned by so many people within the game of FPL as Mo Salah right at this moment. That's crazy, right? He's up to 12.9 million value as well, so he's getting really expensive. What a player. We don't need to dwell on this one. We know this by now. We've got Kai Havertz. A lot of you guys have been asking me whether you should sell Kai Havertz or not. Guys, we only brought in Kai Havertz last game week. We brought him in with the idea that he's going to be playing as a striker for 3 games. You know, Norwich, Newcastle and Burnley. These 3 really nice fixtures. He's going to be playing as the main striker. Now, fair enough, he didn't score against Norwich. And a lot of you guys, myself included, probably felt a little bit unlucky that Havertz wasn't involved in any of the 7 goals or 5 goals whilst he was on the pitch. Anyway, we probably feel a little bit disappointed by that. You know, we can talk about that, we can dwell on that as much as we want, but we have to remember why we bought in Havertz in the first place, and we bought him in because he is going to be the main striker for Chelsea. We've seen either side of that Norwich game in Europe and then in Carabao Cup, Havertz scoring in both games either side of the Norwich game. So it's not like he's out of goal scoring form. It's not like he's a terrible player. It's not like he's just incapable of scoring goals. That's not the case. It was just pretty unfortunate circumstances that led to Grant Hanley defending really well, Norwich, really focusing their attention on stopping Havertz at the expense of letting every other player on the Chelsea field roam free and score goals. So Havertz was really unlucky there. It was perhaps it was a tactical thing by Norwich that just said nullify Havertz and we might win the game. Didn't work out. Don't think that's going to be employed as a tactic again. But yeah, Grant Hanley had the game of his life. Marking Havertz, everyone just wanted to snap Havertz, basically. That's not going to happen every game. It was very circumstantial, I think. And on another day, Havertz is going to have a little bit more freedom. I think he will against Newcastle, and he is going to have that availability to potentially score a goal or 2, maybe get an assist or something like that. A nice cheeky little return for the game. So I'm confident. I don't think anyone should sell Havertz. I definitely don't think people should be making Havertz to a Mount move. I still would rather have Havertz in my team than Mason Mount. Maybe long-term Mount is a bit nicer, but right this second, I would prefer Havertz in my team. There we go. That's all I'm going to say on that one, because I know a lot of you guys are giving up already on Havertz. I really don't think you should. I'm definitely not giving up on him. I'm going to keep him for the next couple of games, just whilst he's playing as a striker before Werner and Lukaku come back into that Chelsea team. And then we've got Phil Foden, an absolute star, a player, a kind of differential. I'm really glad I went for a player who's probably going to be a top of your guys' target lists, transfer target list right now. I don't blame you. Playing as a striker, getting so much service, playing really well, creating, taking plenty of shots, especially in that Brighton game. Maybe the nature of his goals were a little bit fortunate, but overall, he is really looking good for underlying stats, and what he passes the eye test, and he's playing, and he's rested midweek. Everything points to another really good score from Foden. So again, really confident about this one. And then I guess after that, we'll probably try and assess week by week what's going to happen there. There might be a bit of rotation at some point. We kind of know that's going to happen with City, but right now I'm confident again. City are going to start Foden against Crystal Palace, and I think he's going to get another decent score. I really do. And finally, we've got Mbeumo, who we are kind of waiting for a late fitness test on. If we're honest, I still really want Mbeumo. I really want him for this run-in. Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle, Everton, 4 really nice fixtures for Brentford, and I'm really excited to see what Mbeumo can produce. But first of all, he's got to prove his fitness. Now, we don't know for 100% sure. He's going to have a late fitness test. They're going to decide tomorrow whether he's going to be available or not. We as the public probably or possibly might not find out about whether Mbeumo is going to play or not, or whether he's going to be available or not. But I think it is looking pretty positive. From the press conferences, it seems pretty positive that Mbeumo is going to be available. So I am going to roll the dice on this one. I don't want to sell him, because I definitely want him for these games after this as well. So he stays. He stays in the team. We've got Harry Kane up front. Kind of disappointing against West Ham, really, if I'm completely honest. He did have that one big chance to score from the header, but aside from that, yeah, maybe a little bit disappointing. On the other hand, Manchester United, if we want to talk about disappointing, how disappointed the Manchester United have been. So away from home, Manchester United, Spurs are going to have a little bit of an opportunity to do something here. I really do think so. A lot of people say maybe Son is going to be the answer to that question, but actually I think the kind of target, the area that you want to attack for that Manchester United team is the Shaw and Maguire combo on the left-hand side of the Manchester United defence, which is kind of more where Kane would tend to drift. Son is more someone who plays down the left, attacking Manchester United's right side. So I don't know. I think there is going to be. I predicted this last week and I was completely wrong. But this week again, I'm kind of thinking Spurs got a lot to prove. Manchester United got a lot to prove. Both of them can't seem to defend at all at the moment. There's goals in this game, right? There's goals. Is there not? I don't know. Let's find out, I suppose. But to have Harry Kane against this particular Manchester United side is not the worst thing in the world, even if I'm not fully convinced by Harry Kane as a player individually. I think the fixture itself kind of half makes up for that one in a way. So yeah, he's obviously a fantastic player. Hopefully his quality can shine through. Class is permanent kind of thing. Will he put a proper shift in? I don't know. Let's find out. It's a bit of a mystery, but with Harry Kane, there is always that chance of him producing the goods, right? So let's see what he can do. And finally, we've got Antonio. I'm keeping him. I'm keeping Antonio. Aston Villa not looking good. Antonio with another goal. Goal against Spurs, maybe needed to just break that duck. I don't know. His underlying stats have looked consistently good, Antonio's. So I still think he's going to be a good shout, and he's a good, slightly bigger game player. He's not necessarily, he's not a player who's going to score like 4 goals against a Norwich. He's more of a guy who'll score, 1 goal against an Aston Villa. Although, let's see, he's been performing well in those kind of tricky games. Is Aston Villa going to be a tricky game? I don't know. I feel like West Ham are going to go there and win. I think they're showing some good form. I think Antonio is more than capable of scoring in this game, and I expect him to. And if I'm honest, looking after that, Liverpool at home, Wolves away, Manchester City maybe not. But those Liverpool and Wolves games, I actually think, again, maybe Antonio's capable of doing something there. So I'm monitoring Antonio. I did think I was actually going to remove him from my team at one point, or I was kind of being a little bit patient with him and taking it game by game in a way. But so far, so good. And if I'm taking it game by game, so far he's still good to stay in the team. He's still staying. Don't worry, Antonio. You still got your place in the team. Don't worry, mate. On the bench, guys, Foster. Again, toyed with the idea of playing with him, but I think we just stick with our main goalkeeper. We've got Adam Armstrong, who, although Baroya is not available, I'm still not fully convinced if Armstrong is going to start or whether it's going to be an attacking combination of, Redmond and Che Adams. I don't know if Armstrong's going to start. He played 90 minutes in midweek. It's a tricky one because I feel like if I know that Armstrong's going to start the game, I really would want to play him. But again, who am I playing him instead of? Mbumo, who might not be available. Livramento, maybe. I don't know. So I'm not 100% sure here who I bring in Armstrong. I'm kind of spoiled for choice in a way. Really not sure. But the good thing is, if Armstrong does start, then that means that if we have a James nightmare and James doesn't start and he doesn't come off the bench, or if we have an Mbumo nightmare and Mbumo's not available, then Armstrong is there for fairly decent cover. Brownhill playing pretty advanced at the moment as well. That's a pretty nice sub to have. Duffy, I'm kind of interested to see how this develops, to be honest, because I don't know if he's lost his place in the Brighton team, perhaps. Although after that Manchester City performance, perhaps he needs to come back in and shore up the defence a little bit. I don't know, guys. But yeah, there we go. That is what the team looks like right now. I think I'm pretty confident about most of my players. The only 2 players in my starting 11 who I'm not fully convinced are even going to start, because I like all of the players. If they start, I love them, right? But the players who I don't know if they're 100% going to start are Reece James and Mbumo. Reece James is going to depend on Azpilicueta's availability. Maybe he plays anyway, but that's going to impact things. Mbumo, I don't know if he's going to be fully fit, ready to go or not. I don't know. Maybe Armstrong can cover him. And there's only really one transfer that I want to make. And I feel like I'm in a good luxury position right now where I don't have to spend a transfer. So either I can just leave the team as it is and just have it as it is and roll the dice on James and Mbumo and Armstrong and hoping that one of them plays and the ones that don't play don't come on for a 1-pointer, which is, could be really good. The rest of my team is pretty solid. I feel like, even if I don't have someone said this on Twitter and it really resonated with me, even if I don't have a very good game week, it's not really going to matter because everyone's going to be bringing in the players that I have anyway, because my players had a good game week last game week. People are going to be bringing in those players, so I'm pretty much safe from a bad game week at the moment in a way. People are going to be bringing in Foden, so it doesn't matter if he doesn't perform. People are going to be bringing in Trent and James, Livramento. It doesn't matter if they don't perform, kind of thing. So yeah, overall, I think I'm in a really luxury position right now. So yeah, roll the transfer or make a luxury transfer. Here we go. Make a luxury transfer and go Reece James to Ben Chilwell. Now, that's a sideways move, or, you know, it's typically a sideways move. But like I was kind of saying earlier, I do feel like I've got the wrong Chelsea defender. And, you know, one thing that, you know, I've tried to learn a little bit more this season compared to last season is not to be proud. Now, last season, particularly being on YouTube, I was really, really conscious about being too proud and not going back on myself and never changing my mind, because when you are making your team in front of an audience and I say I got something wrong, I want to change my mind, I don't want James anymore, I want Chilwell, typically the comment section will just go, oh, hang on, you said James was a better player than Chilwell before, like, you know, how can you said that before, you're a hypocrite, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. No, I just kind of changed my mind. I didn't really expect Chilwell to be playing in such an advanced position. I didn't think Chilwell would, you know, have this amount of confidence. I didn't know that Chilwell would be seemingly this nailed on in the Chelsea team. I really didn't. I didn't anticipate all this stuff. I'm going to get things wrong sometimes. Thankfully, I've got most things right so far this season, but I'm in a position where, because I've got a lot of things right, I can actually afford to spend that transfer doing a luxury move and correcting a mistake that, quite frankly, I've made. And Chilwell is a player I want for the long term. Chilwell is a player who doesn't come on for those one-pointers, whereas Reece James does. You know, especially if I'm trying to cover with my bench, you know, if I've got Livramento on my bench or Adam Armstrong on my bench or some other players on my bench, I don't want players to come on for those one-pointers. I got this wrong. I really did. And, you know, I can only apologise for getting this wrong, especially if I convinced some of you guys to go for James over Chilwell as well. I can only apologise because, yeah, it was not the right move. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. The important thing is we're not too proud to correct our mistakes. And I think that's the message to take away here. So that is the one move I'm considering right now. If not, there will be no transfers this week. Well, your guys will have to wait until the deadline stream to find out exactly what I do, I suppose. But there we go. Quickly on captains, guys. Let's just throw the captain's armband on Mo Salah. Let's not mess about with this one. I don't think I take the risk here. In terms of captain strategy right now, the only times I'm going to be going for differential captains or following my heart, if you like, is when there is a real split dilemma on captains. You know, a lot of people going for Salah, or, you know, say like 30% of people are going for Salah, 30% of people are going for Havertz, and 30% of people are going for Kane, for example, on a week. That is the kind of week I would say, oh, actually, you know, I think I'm going to go for Foden. I quite like the look of Foden, provided I actually do like the look of that player. Now, as things stand, I don't really like the look of anyone other than Salah. I think Salah has got the best chance of a good game week score in game week 10. So it's a very easy decision. Everyone's going to be captaining him. I don't need to take a risk. I get to have the best player as my captain. A lot of people will be trying to take risks, trying to push up the table. I'm not even going to do it because I honestly cannot see a better option for captaincy than Salah this game week, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel a very similar way. So I'm not gonna mess this up. Not gonna try and overcomplicate or overthink this. It's a very simple decision. For backup captain, you know, vice captain, let's go for Havertz, because we know Havertz is going to play, don't we? He's pretty nailed on. I'll probably think about Foden as well, to be honest. But yeah, let's go with Havertz this game week, I think, as a backup captain, because, you know, at least he has that security. If Salah doesn't play for whatever reason, we do know Havertz is very, very likely to play, so that's going to be fine there. And there we go. That will be the team. Whether it's James or Chilwell by deadline, we'll find out. But yeah, the team is going to look very, very similar to this, guys. 4-4-2. Let's go. Let's see if we can get any closer to that top 100 in FPL. How exciting. How exciting. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy what you saw today, please do leave a like. As I say, I know a lot of you guys watching are not subscribed. I'm going to try and help you out to kind of achieve all of your FPL goals. I'm going to try my best to help you out, but please do subscribe. That is massively, massively appreciated indeed. Yeah, thank you all for your support so much, and all your suggestions, all your comments, and everything helping me out. Honestly, wouldn't be in this position in terms of YouTube channel or in this position in terms of FPL without a discussion with a lot of you guys. So do keep those comments rolling in. And guys, if you are wondering where the 100 experts video is, it's coming tomorrow. So it's still coming. Had to jumble things around a little bit this week, but it's still coming. It's coming on Friday, so stay tuned for that one. Hopefully that's going to be a really good one this week as it's so close to the deadline. We can get some really accurate information. So yeah, looking forward to that one for my own benefit. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that too. But there we go, guys. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.